Hey, welcome. So, you're looking for an affordable electric car? And chances are you've landed on these two heavyweights, the BYD Dolphin and the MG4. And for good reason. They're both fantastic, they're priced super competitively, but today we're going to dig in and find out which one is actually the smarter financial move in the long run. So let's dive right in. We're putting these two head-to-head to see which one really truly gives you the most bang for your buck over its entire lifetime.
And here they are. Okay, so right off the bat, you can see the prices are incredibly close. The MG4 usually kicks off just a little bit cheaper, which, is definitely tempting. But as we're about to see, that sticker price, well, it's only the very beginning of the story.
Right, so that begs the real question, doesn't it? Once you actually drive off the lot and start living with one of these cars, which one is going to be lighter on your wallet over the years? To figure that out, we need to look a little deeper. And to find that real answer, we've got to look way beyond that initial purchase price. Let's talk about a concept that is absolutely essential for making a smart choice with any car, especially an EV. And this is it, total cost of ownership, or TCO. You see, it's not just the price you pay today, it's the entire financial picture. We're talking every euro you spend on charging and every cent on maintenance. Understanding TCO is really the secret to finding our true winner. Okay, let's get into the real heart of any EV. The battery, because this is where we find one of the biggest and honestly one of the most overlooked differences between the Dolphin and the MG4. So the crucial difference here is the battery chemistry. The Dolphin uses what's called an LFP battery, while the MG4 uses NMC. Now, NMC is great, it's known for performance, but LFP technology, what the Dolphin has, offers these huge advantages in safety, cost, and, most importantly for our conversation, long-term durability. And check this out. This number really drives that point home. The Dolphin's blade battery is rated for over 3,000 charge cycles. That could translate to a potential lifespan of over 1,000,000 kilometers. Now, for comparison, NMC batteries are usually closer to 1,000 or 2,000 cycles. Still really good, but that difference in longevity is absolutely clear. And it's not just about how long it lasts. Safety is a huge deal, right? Well, the unique design of this blade battery has given it an incredible safety record, which is a massive plus for anyone buying a car. Now, this is a huge deal for how you actually live with the car day to day. You know how some batteries don't like being charged to full every night? Well, with LFP, you can plug in the Dolphin and charge it to 100% every single day without worrying about hurting the battery long term. That means you always start your day with all the range you can get. It's a total game changer. Okay, so the battery tech is obviously a massive difference. But how does that, and everything else, actually translate into money saved, year after year? Let's break down the real-world running costs. All right, first up is efficiency. The Dolphin just sips a little less energy to go the same distance. Now, I know what you're thinking. A difference of 0.6 kilowatt hours doesn't sound like much, but trust me, over tens of thousands of kilometers, that small efficiency gap really does add up to real savings on your electricity bill. And then there's this other awesome piece of EV magic that saves you money: regenerative braking. It's so simple. You lift your foot off the accelerator, the motor slows the car down, and it sends that energy right back into the battery. It's amazing. It boosts your range, and it also means you barely even have to touch your regular brakes, which drastically cuts down on wear and tear. And here's what that actually looks like in practice. The data suggests that because of its efficiency and that clever braking, things like brake pads and even tires tend to last just a bit longer on the Dolphin. Again, there's small differences, but they all add up when we're talking about the total cost of ownership. All right, so we've looked at all the individual pieces, the battery, the running costs, the maintenance. Now let's put it all together and see what the final verdict is over a whole decade of driving. So, this is it, the big question. You drive these cars for 10 years, maybe 150,000 kilometers. After all that time on the road, which car has actually saved you more money? And boom, here are the numbers. This is the bottom line. When you add up all the projected costs for charging and maintenance, the BYD Dolphin is expected to come out ahead, costing about 1,500 euros less to run than the MG4 over that time. That is a pretty significant saving. So yeah, when you look at that all-important total cost of ownership, the Dolphin really does pull ahead. For families, for daily commuters, for anyone who's really going to put a lot of kilometers on their car, the Dolphin is projected to be the more economical choice over the long haul. Okay, so what's the final takeaway here? Look, they are both fantastic cars, but they just serve slightly different priorities. You should choose the BYD Dolphin if your main focus is on the best long-term value, that top-tier battery safety, and just easy, practical daily use. But you should definitely consider the MG4 if your number one priority is the absolute lowest price up front, or if you need it slightly faster charging for frequent road trips and you just prefer a sportier feel.
At the end of the day, only you can decide which car is the perfect fit. We really hope this deep dive into the real costs helps you make a choice you'll be happy with for years to come. Thanks so much for joining us for this explainer.